This is one of Cluny the Scourge's videos, and it's Blood Bowl!
Hi everyone, and long live Blood Bowl!
Yes, that's right, Jim. Another exciting encounter is about to get underway.
Should be a classic, Bob.
A turn-based strategy PC game with an American football theme, adapted from the tabletop game set in the Warhammer universe. The new upgraded Legendary Edition has just recently come out. You can buy it on Steam. I'm going to break down for you a match I played a while back on the Classic Edition. In the league of which I'm a member, the excellent OFL, the Old World Football League. The match is Cluny's army versus the Deadly Dancers. As you can see, this is a Skaven versus Wood Elf match. My opponent here is my fellow OFL coach, Darken Ral, an excellent Blood Bowl player. He will be leading the Wood Elf team, and I will be playing as the Skaven. Well, what other race did you think Cluny the Scourge would be playing as? I have a special affinity for rats. Rest in peace, Salt and Charlie. This was a match with some small significance. It was the first in the qualifying tournament for the OFL's allotted places in the official worldwide Super Blood Bowl competition. Whoever won those places would have a shot at a cash prize in the official tournament. So there were some stakes involved in this match. We did care about the result. We both wanted to represent the OFL in the competition. Since my opponent was in the US and my internet connection was down at the time, in order to play this match, I had to drive across iced-over roads in winter at 3 in the morning to use my brother's machine at his house, while he and his wife were asleep upstairs in the dead of night, and this on a weekday, so I had less than an hour's sleep before I had to be at work. As you're going to see, it was a pretty colourful match, with some dramatic twists and turns. Let's take a look at the teams. Cluny's army has 2 Storm Vermin Blitzers, the most heavily armoured players on this field, and hence the most resistant to injury. 4 basic linemen to fill out the ranks, 4 gutter runners, fast-moving and manoeuvrable receivers, and 1 thrower, a kind of quarterback figure who comes equipped with ball-handling skills. The Deadly Dancers have 1 War Dancer. That's a powerful blitzer type of player we can expect to see taking the lead in my opponent's tactics. 2 throwers and catchers, the ball-handling component of his team, respectively the silver and blonde-haired players that you can see there, and 6 linemen. We each have 11 players, no substitutions available. Skaven and Wood Elves are both fragile races, so whoever starts taking injuries first is liable to become significantly outnumbered, though I have an apothecary, giving me some initial leeway on that point. As you'll see, some elf shit got lovingly smeared in everyone's faces right from turn 1. The Deadly Dancers won the toss and elected to receive in the first half. I used a double layer deployment on my wings, with my weaker players, the gutter runners, at the rear, my stronger players, the storm vermin, equipped with the block skill, in the centre. This is a matchup between teams based on speed and agility. We can expect to see play based mostly on lightning fast manoeuvres and ball handling. If Darken Ral is going to break my lines to score quickly, he'll most likely now do it through a hinge between my centre and a wing, putting his receivers into the middle where I can hopefully keep them under control with my high speed. Darken Ral's throwers are in the rear, ready to secure the ball once I've kicked it. He has a strong centre. The position of his War Dancer indicates an intention to break through on my left. His catchers are on the wings, ready to exploit openings in my line. Making this commentary video somewhat makes me think of a battle report from White Dwarf. There were a couple of issues with such reports on Blood Bowl matches back at the time of the release of the 3rd edition tabletop game. Splat, get off my mags, how many times do I have to tell you? And in my preparation for this video, I rebought old copies I had back at that time to study them. I would have been about 14 or so. I used to play 3rd edition tabletop, and was thoroughly delighted when an online PC version of Blood Bowl first appeared in 2009, especially since I was always talentlessly abysmal at painting miniatures. The new Legendary Edition updates the game to bring most of its races onto the net, and is worth getting. The OFL, the league I'm in, has recently been heavily revamped for Legendary Edition, so take a look if you're ready to test yourself in easily the best online Blood Bowl league. So, the match commences, and here's the kick, and immediately the crowd decide they want their money back, rush onto the pitch, and stun 5 Wood Elf players and 2 Skaven. The time for plans is over, the time for improvisation has begun. The Wood Elves will now most likely secure the ball, penetrate my lines with their receivers, and then attempt a long pass and handoff combination for a rapid touchdown. Included among the stricken is the lovely Cara Maud Sith, and doesn't she ride on the ground beautifully? The Deadly Dancer's War Dancer, easily the most powerful player on the field. The tip of the Wood Elven's spear in this match. She's certainly a highly visible player. She is, after all, the only one on the field with an 80s style punk chick Mohican and, well, bosoms. The best blitzer figure on the field, both the block and dodge skills out of the box, making her difficult to knock down. And she's a girl, and a juicy target for me. Ripe and juicy. Whoa. I don't know about you, but from this angle, all that gentle, fleshy swaying is making me slightly seasick. Hypnotic. It's the movement across the face of the waters. The movement of the universe. My opponent's first moves are to protect and secure the ball, then get it safely out of my range. For this battle report, by the way, you can mostly ignore the clock in the corner. I've edited the footage together to cut out most of the thinking time we used, and show all of the moves in the most narratively effective way, so the timer will jump back and forth a lot as we go. These are newly created vanilla teams on their first match, so there are few skills on the field. The stats are going to be the crucial factor. I have better speed, slightly better armor and blocking skills. My opponent has better ball handling abilities and maneuverability, with his out-of-the-box catch skills and his universal high agility stat that comes with all Elven players. Nevertheless, as you'll see, play became increasingly violent in the second half of the match. The Wood Elves' next moves are to attempt to open up my left so that receivers can penetrate there. They pushed back one of my Storm Vermin on the line, and then, with a catcher assisting, the lineman Chase Brandstone blitzed my thrower Scrag. Observe, and heed the words of Ivan Drago from Rocky IV.
I must break you.
Let's enjoy my player's death again. With Scrag dead, I've lost all of my team's ball handling skills, pass and sure hands, right from the word go. Casualties are inevitable, but this is turn 1 and I can't play the whole of the match under strength. It's too great a disadvantage.
He did not care anymore. Life and death, the same.
I have little practical choice but to use up my one and only apothecary to save him from this murderous villain. He'll come back for the second drive, but I'm now outnumbered for the first and my safety net has been stripped away. The dancers round off their first turn by setting Chase up as a potential receiver with a quick dodge and go for it roll. My turn. I here make a strategic decision. I'm wary of my ability to realistically prevent the Wood Elves using their superior agility to score by a quick pass and handoff, and now that I'm down a player, I have even less hope. I therefore decide to try to encourage the Deadly Dancers to score immediately, bringing my numbers back up to full strength so that I can attempt to score slowly enough that there will be no opportunity for a response and the first half will end 1-1. I will then receive in the second half and I can aim for a 2-1 victory. My chosen method is to forsake structured defense in favor of brutally gang fouling one of his positional players. I would have preferred Cara the War Dancer for a target, but I can't get enough rats to assist for my liking, and instead go for a catcher, Jensen Rall. It's a gamble, a player could be sent off. But behold, bugger all happens. With this bumbling display of ass-hatmanship, my rat men realise that not only do they wear each other's asses for hats, they can't even keep them on straight. Shame-faced, ass-hatted, and damned. Here you see a shot from the stands as the crowd watches on, no doubt hoping for more bloodshed. The self-same crowd who were just bloodily stomping both teams into the dirt a moment ago. God bless them. But tickets and merchandising are paying the players' salaries, so I suppose they're entitled. Darkenral's response is to indeed move to score as I had hoped. He stands his linemen up from the scrimmage line and moves them into position, along with one of his throwers, Richard Rahl, to present a kind of rudimentary protective screen on my left in case something goes wrong. These linemen go to back up Chase in case the pass scatters or Chase fails the catch, and Kara the War Dancer blitzes, as you see here, against one of my gutter runners, completing the protective screen. Then he hands off the ball to the thrower, Ruben Ribnik, to make the necessary pass. Or tries to, as at the time Ruben was idly scratching himself and wondering whether his wife was going to do lasagna tonight. Even with a re-roll expended, the handoff fails. There is only a 1 in 36 chance of this disaster happening. Agape and aghast, the catcher, Kalen Amnell, and the thrower, Ruben, meet each other's eyes and say at the exact same moment, "Now look at what you've done." Now it's up to me to take advantage of this mishap. I'm going to do that with my gutter runners, the signature player of the Skaven team, with a movement allowance of 9, making them the fastest player in the game, at least in the new Legendary Edition after the Wood Elf catcher got nerfed. I place this lineman in the way of movements to respond. I send my first gutter runner behind enemy lines to place a tackle zone on the ball. I use my storm vermin to attack the enemy scrimmage line, again hoping to impede their ability to respond. 2 more gutter runners, Dark Claw and Cluny, are sent downfield to lend myself additional resources and to act as potential receivers on my next turn. I lay into the Wood Elf lineman on the scrimmage line, again hoping to do as much harm as possible to his ability to react, and with 1 knockdown and 1 pushback, Cheese Thief can pass through the breach I have created to make a grab for the ball. For a gutter runner picking up in 2 zones spending a re-roll, it's a 75% chance. I fumble, but it bounces off Kalen Amnell's enormous pasty white knees, and right back into Cheese Thief's greedy paws. Turn 3, and the Elves move to recover the ball and resume their original plan to score with lineman Chase Branstone. My open receiver, Kilconey the gutter runner, has a tackle zone thrown on him by Jensen, the catcher I fouled in turn 1. Warren, the lineman, retraces his steps to provide support in the rear if needed. And now the Deadly Dancers attempt to sack my ball carrier, first with Ruben the thrower, achieving only a pushback result. It's notable that blocking against a Strength 2 gutter runner, any Strength 3 player won't need an assist to make a 2-die block. The War Dancer can now blitz Cheese Thief, and with the ball popped free, Kalen can dodge, pick up and hand off to Chase, who is in a position to score. However, Kalen's insecurity over the failure to catch last time leads him to reassure himself with a short pass instead of a handoff, meaning an extra roll is made. The pass succeeds, but the catch does not, again despite a re-roll expended. While Kalen contemplates suicide over the cosmic injustice of his apparent rejection by life, let's consider why this pass was made, for it was in fact fully justifiable, the odds of success being 81% with a re-roll in hand. It's experience point farming. This is match 1 of the OFL qualifier for the Super Blood Bowl, and the dancers need SPP to quickly get skills to gain an advantage in the upcoming matches. And they did after all start the match off by killing a rat. The coach's RPG instincts are kicking in as a Pavlovian response. Kill rats. Get experience. Level. 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 And now, click to continue on to the next part of the match report, in which we explore just how much more crazy this train wreck can get.